Hello and welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be ranking all the beginner characters. And the characters are Aether, Amber, Kaya and Lisa. And we're going to be ranking them off combat, weapon and looks. So let's get into it. And by the way, all the characters are not the same level, so it might become a bit unfair, but it's good enough, so let's get into it. First character is Aether! And first we're going to rank him off his combat. Now we just have to see how much damage this does. 18 with 24, maybe 22, 24. And now the power, 105. Ew, okay. And then the Q move then. What the hell is that? And now I think we have enough information to rank his combat. And it was decent, I guess. Not the best, not the worst. I would give it about 6 out of 10. Phase 2, the weapon phase. Okay, now I will just be ranking the weapon that I use, like the sword. Not like any specific sword or a level 5 sword or anything like that. So just a normal sword. And I quite actually like it. It's probably my favorite weapon so far in this game. So I'll give it a 8.5 out of 10. And now we get to the third and last phase for Aether. And that's the looks. I actually think he looks quite cool, but I'm a bit disappointed by that rat tail he has. That's not my favorite part, but overall, pretty cool character. I'll probably rank him about a strong 8. And that means Aether's final score is 22.5 out of 30, which I think is pretty good. But now, let's get to the second character, Amber. We're gonna be ranking her on the exact same things also, but first, the combat. She has good range at least. Or that's probably because she has a bow. But when you get close to enemies, it's not that effective. But I'm doing 100 damage right now. So that's very much actually for just a bow. And then we have this Q move. Just rains fire arrows. And the E move. Oh yes, it's this one. This is the distraction, I think. So the people I am going up against are distracted by this one. So that can be quite useful, actually. Okay, so the honest review was pretty good, actually. I like the powers, actually, especially, you know, the distraction, because you can use the distraction and just, they'll be distracted. And the Q move, I guess, could be absolutely amazing if you just can hit it, but I didn't. But I think the combat was quite good actually, but it's just when you come to close range it's not that effective. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. Phase 2, the weapon phase. And now we get to the weapon, which I think is good, because you use it from long range, but you can't get into like a big fight and just fight with a bow if you're close range. So it's pretty good, but it's not the best, so I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. And now we get to the third and last phase for Amber, and that's the looks. And here we have her. I think she's a quite cool character, but the same thing again, it's something with the hair. This thing in the middle of the hair is not my favorite, but it's a pretty cool character, but it's probably not my favorite, so I'll rank her about 7 out of 10 in looks. Now we get to the third character, Kaya. And we have the same format for him too, so let's get into the combat. And this is a sword I use, by the way, for both Kaya and Aether, just so you know. Now let's get into the combat, okay? Just a shield in the way, 30, 28, 36, 79. Doing good damage right now, but it probably helps because Kaya has a bit of higher level. But I love his attacks though. The freezing and the Q are so good to use. And the sword is of course good. Boom. That was actually very good. Now let's just try the Q move on another enemy. And here we have the Q move. Just a lot of spinning ice block around me. And does a lot of damage just for that. So this actually pretty good. I think that was probably the best combat so far. I actually love the moves on him. He has probably the best moves, to me at least. But just because them moves are so good, I'm probably gonna give his combat like a 9 out of 10 easily. And now for the weapon that he uses. He just uses the normal sword, exactly the same as Aether, so I think I'm gonna give him the same rank, 8.5. And now we get to the looks of Kaya. And I actually think he's a pretty cool character. I love the eye patch, it's actually a very cool feature. And the blue hair also works perfectly with like the costume and everything blue matches. And overall, probably one of my favorite character designs so far, the characters I've unlocked at least. So I'm giving him actually a 9.5 out of 10 in looks. And now we get to the last character of the video. And the character is Lisa! And of course, same format for her also. And now we start with the combat here. And the normal moves are just these attacks that always hit if you're close. So it can be very effective on flying stuff and stuff that are hard to hit. And then the E move is also very effective. A lot of damage on that too. So that's good. And now let's just find some more enemies to do the Q move on. These are not the best example because these are like level 2. But it'll work. So now let's try the Q move. And that's that one, yes. It's like a lantern in the sky that does damage constantly to people in that zone. So that can be very effective where a lot of people are crammed into one area. So that's actually quite good. And this is actually quite good. And the favorite parts about this is that you can do a lot of damage to a lot of opponents in the same time with these E moves and Q moves. And you hit all your shots when you're close range. So that's actually quite good. So the combat, I'm gonna give her a 8 out of 10. And now we get to the weapon, which is actually a very cool weapon. I've never seen a weapon like this one. It's like a book with like electric powers coming out of it. It's so like interesting, but still very cool. So this is actually very cool, and actually it's good in game also. So I'm gonna have to give the weapon a like 8.5, I think. And now we get to the final part, the looks. And I actually think it's also a pretty cool character. I like how they done the combo with the purple and white. It's actually quite a nice combo. So I'm gonna give her a 7.5 out of 10. And now the final scores has been secured. And the winner is Kaya. And here we have the leaderboard. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!